And we're back at the local SEO lab. Join with me today. I've got Alison as always, and we've got a special guest, Tom from Eastern Edge Plumbing. Now, Alison and I have been discussing Google business profiles for a long time now, and we've always had the idea to have someone come in and actually give their story on what they've achieved on the Google business profile from a simple step of just listening to one of our episodes and taking action. Alison, how long have we been talking about this, about getting someone on board?
Over a year, and
Yeah.
we met Tom about this point in time. And we said we were doing a podcast, and Tom started listening to the podcast, and so we've been following Eastern Edge Plumbing and Tom and his journey as far as online visibility. So he's our first guest for the podcast. So this is to bring local businesses on. Yeah, so Tom, what has the Google Business Profile meant for you in your business when you first went out on your own, even though you're a really highly experienced plumber of over 20 years, which has that's on the profile and that's on your website, which is awesome. But the
Yeah.
profile was relatively new, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I think I started it would have been August or September. So listening to your podcast and speaking to you, Alison, I started a Google business profile and we interlinked it with my webpage. And from there, I gained quite a bit of visibility. I What it's meant for me is I can work a lot more local, which is really good for me because I'm a young dad. So it means I can get to footy training, I can go pick up the kids. I also can employ people, which I have now that are local. The other thing is, I used to work at my current job. I'd be traveling an hour and a half to 2 hours away from home. So 4 hours travel nearly a day.
Mm.
Now I've got that back in my family. So Google Business Profile has definitely helped me with that. So it's just been so amazing. And all the reviews that I get, I'm really proud to get the reviews. They don't just say, it's just not my word saying that I do quality plumbing. It's a whole bunch of other people saying Tom from Eastern Edge Plumbing does quality plumbing. And then it sort of goes as a word of a mouth thing through the reviews. So I'm just real happy that I can work a lot more local and be have a lot more time with my family. I was obviously a lot more visibility for my company too. So I have neighbours now that I've lived next to for 8 years, realising that I'm an actual plumber because they've searched up plumbers in Seville East.
Mm.
So sometimes I might get a job where I don't even have to drive the car. I just walk down the road and go do some tap washes. And yeah, Google Business Profiles really helped me for that. Beforehand, I don't know how people would have actually found me without the Google Business Profile.
Mm. So what was your position visibility wise beforehand?
Just word of mouth, realistically. I did have a web page, but you'd really have to type the exact letters in to find it. I
Yeah.
didn't have anything, to be 100% honest. So
And
I didn't,
word of mouth is good, and
definitely
it
good.
gets you
Don't get me
started.
wrong.
It
Mm.
gets
Yeah,
you started. A lot of businesses are in that position where that's how they start their business, through word of mouth. But you get to a point where you need to do more, and that's the point that you get
100%.
to.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%. Like you need a few different leads coming from other places. Word of mouth is good, really good, and there's still a lot of clients I have because of word of mouth, but that might only give me 20% of workload a week. And I need, obviously, with staff that I've employed now, I need a lot more. So the Google review has definitely helped me with that, with people just talking,
Mm.
um, and checking out my Google business profile.
Because what I particularly, I don't know where Jose's screen's gone, but what I really love about your reviews, Tom, is that your um, customers are naturally saying the service that you have provided. And that's such a trust factor for Google. And I can tell Google has picked up on that because on your reviews, Google has actually tagged keywords like pipe,
Oh,
drainage,
it's trust
plumber,
stop,
and things like
drainage
that.
stop.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that means that the algorithm is picked up on those keywords that have been used by people in your reviews. And you've done an awesome job of replying to reviews too.
Yeah,
So
we
just
try
want,
and reply to them straight away
yeah,
because I know that helps. And
yeah,
like they've taken the time out to actually write me a review. So I want to thank them, coming from the company saying, look, thanks very much. I know everyone's very busy, so to actually take some time out and write a review, that means a lot to me. I'm very proud of that.
yeah.
So
And it's you'll be rewarded, and you are. I can see that you are rewarded. That Google sees it as such a trust factor and a credibility factor. The fact that
yeah.
their reviews are replied to, and you just don't say one line, thank you. You actually put some
No,
effort into
no, no,
it.
we write a bit of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
awesome stuff. And the fact that Google is tagging your reviews with keywords, that shows the algorithm is really picking up on that. So, yeah, fantastic job. And they're all 5-star too. And there's 28
Thank you.
reviews, and you only
Yep.
started it less than a year ago. So,
Yeah, listen, I think it's only like 6 months or something.
yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
we talk about Google reviews a lot and how it increases visibility, but we don't really, you've highlighted some things that it's meant for you
yeah,
personally. You
yeah,
know,
definitely.
it's such a good, it's so good hearing that a Google review means more than just increasing your rankings. It
Yeah,
actually
definitely.
gives you motivation to keep on going.
100%. Like time with my family is the most important thing.
Mm.
So if if it's Google Business Profiles definitely helped me with that. Like literally 5 years ago when I worked in another company, it was a great company, but their travel was huge. Like 4 hours a day, you add that up over a week, a year. I did that for 15, 16 years, and I was doing stay away work. Those are all time losses. I did that for, to get experience and to get a wage, which was really good. But being able to work local all that time is something you can never get back in life. And that's more time with my kids, watching them grow up and being with my wife. So personally, that's a massive benefit to me. Obviously, having, driving 15 minutes down the road to do a job is really good too. Don't get me wrong, other than driving out. But that part is one of the beneficial things to me personally. So yeah,
I was going to
And
say,
you
oh,
can't,
sorry, I
yeah.
say, I was just going to ask Tom, because you've got so many great reviews, so, in relatively short time, any tips on how you've got them? Because a
yes,
lot of business owners just hope that their
Yeah.
customers or
yeah.
clients will leave it, but you're obviously, I think you must be doing something, are you? Can you share
Yeah.
that?
So what I do is when we first started doing the trying to get the Google review, obviously we do the job and we attach it down to the bottom of the invoice saying, look, leave us a review if you're happy with our work. I actually that is there still, but what I try and do now is I give it a few days. I actually touch base with the customer and
Mm.
saying, look, how's your bathroom renovation going? Is everything working? Do we need to come back? And they say, no, Tom, we're really happy with what you've done. And I actually talk to them and say, look, do you mind if I send you a link and you click on the link and it gives us a Google review and we can work more local and you can show that we can do the type of work that we've done for you. So I talk to the customer and ask them, like other than just sending them something. And that's how a lot of the people are more than happy to do that if they've had a good outcome with plumbing. 98% of the time, we have a really good experience with the customers and they're more than happy to leave us a review. And I don't always ask for 5 stars and pictures and um,
Oops.
on there, and a 5 star helps your ratings. People are just happy to do that. So I obviously is talking, look, if you don't mind leaving a photo now, it helps, and writing a little bit on what we've done and leaving the 4 or 5 stars. So
That's
yeah,
a
that's my
really,
sort of tip. I just
that's a,
talk to the customers.
Mm.
yeah.
Communication is key. So yeah, it's one of my values in my company, communication. I think if it's all black and white, there's no emotion tied to it. If you speak to someone, it's 5, 10 minutes, and if they've had a good interaction, they don't mind leaving a review.
Well,
That's what I do.
that's valuable because that's what people want. People want communication, interaction. They
Yeah,
want to feel like they're actually helping someone by leaving a
Yeah,
review
Yeah.
and things like that. And just
yep,
those, even those points where you said you didn't initially ask them for a photo, or you didn't initially ask them to describe what they've done, but now you've kind of, progressed and you've started at something and now you've added all these other things. And
yep,
that's, you've got how many Google reviews at the moment?
About 28, I think. Yeah, 28.
28.
Yeah.
yep,
28 five-star
Ah,
Google
yeah.
reviews, and you're dominating your local area.
yep.
Yeah.
A lot of
So
people
yeah,
say, you need to get over 50 reviews before you actually, start seeing something. But I think what we can gather from here is if those reviews are like high quality,
Mm.
descriptive, genuine, and then you respond straight away,
yeah, that's it.
it's you don't need 50 reviews. You just need, quality
Quality.
over quantity.
It's all about quality, not quantity.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
So
think you
yeah,
end up with a domino effect in a way because someone goes to leave a review and they will look at other reviews just to
Yeah.
that's right.
and
Yeah,
they see all these amazing. So that looks pretty lame if they just say, "Oh, thanks, Tom," because
Yeah.
everyone else has has done and they've seen that you've actually replied and put effort in, and so
yep,
that's where you end up this sort of snowball effect of having this. I mean, great content that's just actually review content, and
Yeah.
it
yep,
is content actually. So yeah, it's awesome work, and I love it that you just pick up the phone and talk. I mean,
yeah,
some business owners, they think they're great if they're, which it's better than nothing, that they're sending the link. But often they send it a week afterwards with no communication in between. And I think you've probably nailed it with that personalization, that communication. And that's all about local business, isn't it? That, you know,
yep.
you provide, you know your customers, you know your clients. It's more than just a job.
100%. And like I say to most customers, I don't want it to be just a once off.
Mm,
I want to be a plumber for the rest of your life.
mm,
So, and that's what I've been getting. Like, I think I did some stats. So from September, 20 to 30 clients I've got around the eastern suburbs now that I've done more than one or two jobs for. And that's schools and residential and a little bit of light commercial.
mhm.
But it's not just one job. I go back and I've done, yeah, many more. So
Wow.
that's what I try and that's a vibe I try and build. So, and I
Mm.
like talking to clients. I probably talk to clients too long. Sometimes when I do quotes, I'm there for 3 hours having coffee and seeing them all their backyard and stuff. So it's good. I like that. I don't
Yeah.
I like you work most of your life. So if you can have good
Mhm.
interactions with people, it makes your week enjoyable. So yeah.
Uh, That's another tip with the reviews. I mean, if you put that much effort into quote, I mean, there's obviously the people put effort into giving you reviews. And I also really like on your profile, Tom, your photos of jobs. I mean, the cover photo at the moment, I mean, Google changes it up. There's often no
Yep.
control over that, but you've actually got excavation in a backyard, and I know drainage is one of
Yep.
your most important services that you
Yep.
provide. There's no stock photos, there's site photos, they're real photos. So when you combine it with the content of reviews and your website with 20 years experience, it just gives a holistic picture. I always see from the Google point of view. I think I can see that Google knows about your business already
Yep.
and through what you've done with the photos, the reviews, and the website and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, going on.
We try and take as many photos as we can. I tell all my staff, look, if you got nothing to do, just start taking pictures of our work, or a little video, that helps us. So it all obviously shows our clients too.
Totally.
Mm.
Can I just say one thing? Add your
Yep.
business hours on your profile because you got them on your website,
Okay.
but there's no business hours. And Google's actually has flagged add business hours. So, and that's one of the really important things is business hours on the profile. So just make sure they're exactly the same as what's on the website. They have to be aligned. So if you add
I
them,
haven't
but
done that. I'll definitely do that. I
yeah.
know I had a phone call probably about 2 months ago, and it was from a Make Safe insurance company. And they obviously look for businesses using Google because it's a Sydney-based insurance company. And
Mhm.
all the other ones around me, they didn't ring because they were closed. So they're
Ah,
only 7 till 5. and mine didn't have any hours. So they rang me at about 9 o'clock at night, and I actually went out and did an emergency job.
Well, if you
Well,
do that, you can actually set it
To
to
do
20,
24.
yeah,
Yeah,
24
24.
hours. Set it to
I've got to do that.
24 hours then.
Yeah,
And but you'd want to put that on your website as well, that you
yeah.
do so you are accepting phone calls. And actually it's a really good SEO strategy, the 24-hour open,
Yeah.
because Google changes what it shows according to, as you just said, the hours of businesses being open, which doesn't always make sense because people, yeah, it's Google's thing.
I get you.
But that's where the 24 hours, and if you legitimately do accept phone calls, yeah, it would help your rankings. Definitely.
Okay, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that after this podcast.
It's been incredible. You know, it's for us, it's really fulfilling knowing that business owners are listening, taking action and implementing things for your business. Um, what has that implementation meant for your business? Like, if you could just recap in a short sentence, what does it mean implementing this strategy for your business?
Oh, it's been astronomical, to be honest. Like, I've been able to build a company from nothing with not much money, and now I've got four of us, three out on site, one in the office,
Wow.
and I've got more work than I know what to do with.
Oh, that,
So look, it's yeah, that's what it's done for me. And starting a Google profile is free,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
so
Yep.
it's
Google
free.
wants to be the local small business directory, and Jose, just it's great hearing local businesses succeeding. Honestly, to goodness, and online visibility is all part of it, as well as doing obviously fantastic job. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's great to hear.
Yeah. So I guess to wrap it up, and we don't want to keep on going about how good you are because you are. Um,
Get a big head,
what's
Jose.
yeah. You know, we have business owners that are they're stuck. They're like, probably in overwhelm with AI, with
Mm.
Yeah.
starting their business, probably in the same position that you were at, where you're like, what do I do first? What's your tip for a business owner that's kind of just, a one man or a two-man team? What's your tip on getting started and making a path to where you are right now?
My tip is pretty much starting a Google profile, having a web page, interlink them, and then as you go through jobs that you're doing, ask for a review. That's pretty much it. That's how I've done it, and obviously I've built it up, so I'm very busy. So
Mm.
starting a business, starting a Google profile. That's your main one.
And like you said, it's absolutely free.
Yeah, it's
It's
free.
the
Yeah.
amount of time and energy that you've spent is probably minimal,
That's right. Yep,
and the reward is astronomical.
100%. And it's visible. Like I said, I'm got neighbours that live down the road that never knew that I was a plumber, like six doors down, and they've looked for plumbers in Seville East, and they're like, "Oh, Tom's actually owns Eastern Edge Plumbing," and
Mm.
that's because of my rankings and that. And now that's how close I can work. How close I can work to home. Very close because of that. So just starting a Google business profile. So it's very easy. Everyone looks up, if a restaurant's really good or, somewhere to stay, they look up, if there's a plumber good or a carpenter good. That's all we need to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alison, is there anything else that you want to pick out of Tom because he's been such a such an awesome guest to have his experience on here.
Yeah, no, just keep doing what you're doing, Tom. As I said, add your business hours on, make it 24 hours. And then if you've got time,
Yep.
there's a services section on the Google business profile. But keep getting your reviews that are so descriptive and keep putting up your photos of your jobs. And yeah, I'm sure
Yep.
you're going to beat most of the other plumbers in the area that are probably not doing anything or did a profile 5 years ago and haven't touched it since. So yep, you're winning already. So there we go. There's
Thank
our
you.
first guest.
Awesome. Thanks a lot,
Thank you
Tom.
very much for having me, guys.
No, it's been really good, Tom. Really, really good to listen to your story. And I guess the reason why Alison and I wanted to bring you on is because we want business owners to be able to take advantage of this podcast and
Yep,
get to a position where you are at for their
yep,
business because it would mean the world for that business owner and their family ultimately. So
that's it. Yeah,
hopefully this can reach a lot of people. We'll be sharing this with our audience and our Facebook and Instagram groups. So, look, I appreciate your time, Tom. I wish you all the best, and I guarantee you we'll be seeing you more often.
Yeah,
definitely.
that's it.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Tom.
much for having me, guys.
Not a
Pleasure.
problem. Awesome. Cool. All right.